So you're probably first of all wondering, what's this thing all about? So I scratched my eye a couple days ago and it's been really bothering me, so I put a patch over it and hopefully we'll see how that helps. Anyway, today what I want to talk to you about is extravagance. Well, this afternoon I took my son to the Y Guides fall outing. The Y Guides group that I'm in, my son goes to private school, and the group is full of dads that are all very, very successful and financially and everything else. And I guess success is in the eye of the beholder, but the question came up while we were there that the lottery was recently up to like $1.6 billion, right? The Powerball. And so the question came up, how much money would be enough? And the reason that came up is because I have a client who last spring won the lottery, and it was $1 million, but after taxes and they took the lump sum, they came away with about $400,000, which is a lot of money, but it's not necessarily life-changing money, because most people would not be able to live off the interest of $400,000 in the United States. And so we got to talking about what is life-changing money, and it was interesting to me that we were talking about it, and generally speaking, the multiple is about 24 times your average your annual expenses. So let's say if your annual expenses are $50,000, then that would be, how much would that be? 10 times 20 times 50, 10 times 50 is 500,000, about $1 million. So roughly $1.5 million if your annual expenses were $50,000. If your annual expenses were, $100,000, then you're talking about you need somewhere between $2.5 and $3 million to live off of. And that would of course be after taxes and all things of that sort. And so we got to talking about that, and one of the dads said it'd probably need to be closer to $10 million would be his number to be life-changing. And I just thought that was interesting, that means his annual expenses are somewhere several $100,000 at least, right? Probably $200,000 or $300,000 are his annual expenses, and that's a lot of money to a lot of people. And it's funny, my wife and I were out on a date night last night, and we got to talking about potentially moving to someplace like Costa Rica or someplace else if we could. With the kids, and the cost of living there would be less and things like that. And there's people in other worlds that they just live off a lot less than us. And so I guess this is a little bit more serious than what I normally talk about, but it's funny that we just live in this country where people have so much and there's so much extravagance, and there's such a disparity with people in other countries. And not that that's bad or good or anything like that. I just think it's important to sometimes just self-reflect and take a moment and just be thankful for what we have, and think about the fact that however bad it gets for us and in our world here in the United States, there's people somewhere else that have it much worse. And with all the pain and this caravan thing that's going through Mexico right now and everything else, there's people other places that they just have it much worse. And so we just have to put things in perspective sometimes and remember what we have. So that's really what I got to share with you today. Hopefully you are having a great day wherever you're at, staying warm. And it was a chilly day today, being outside all day, but we had fun and it was good, and I had some good time with my son, and that was nice. So anyway, it's late. I gotta run, and have a great day, folks. Talk soon. Again, probably tomorrow.